If you're a UK pensioner, December 15th, 2025 is a date you cannot afford to ignore. The Department for Work and Pensions has just confirmed major housing rule changes that will directly impact how your living situation affects your benefits, and if you're unprepared, you could face payment reductions, suspensions, or complete loss of support. This isn't speculation or rumor. These are officially verified changes that will reshape benefit assessments for homeowners, renters, and anyone sharing accommodation. In the next few minutes, I'm revealing exactly what's changing, who faces the biggest impact, and the critical steps you must take before this deadline to safeguard your income. Don't click away, because this information could mean the difference between financial security and genuine hardship. Welcome back to my channel, your most reliable source for verified Department for Work and Pensions updates and essential benefits information that UK pensioners can actually trust and act upon. If this is your first time joining us, our channel specializes in translating complex government policy announcements into straightforward, actionable guidance that protects your financial well-being and helps you navigate retirement with genuine confidence and peace of mind. Today's video addresses something absolutely critical that every pensioner needs to understand before December 15th, 2025 arrives. The DWP has officially confirmed substantial changes to how housing circumstances are evaluated in benefit calculations, and these modifications will fundamentally alter the assessment process for pension credit, housing benefit, and numerous other forms of support that millions of pensioners currently depend upon. Here's the uncomfortable truth that catches most retirees completely off guard. Many people mistakenly believe that once they've started receiving benefits and had their circumstances assessed, everything remains stable and fixed unless they explicitly notify the DWP about major life changes. This assumption isn't just incorrect, it's potentially devastating to your financial stability. The reality is that the department continuously updates its evaluation frameworks, and the December 15th modifications represent one of the most significant overhauls in housing assessment methodology that we've witnessed in recent years. These new regulations acknowledge that contemporary retirement living looks dramatically different compared to even a decade ago. Increasing numbers of pensioners share homes with adult children in multi-generational arrangements. Many have downsized from larger family properties or are actively considering selling. Some rent spare bedrooms to supplement fixed incomes. Others reside in annexes, converted spaces, or fluid living situations that existing DWP frameworks simply weren't designed to properly evaluate. In this focused guide, I'm walking you through everything essential about these housing rule changes. We'll examine why the DWP is implementing these modifications now, how the new regulations specifically affect homeowners and renters, the crucial connection between housing status and pension credit, what happens if you fail to update your information, who faces the highest risk, and most importantly, the exact actions you must complete before December 15th to protect yourself. This isn't about creating unnecessary panic. It's about ensuring you possess the knowledge and preparation necessary to navigate these changes successfully and maintain your benefit entitlements without disruption. The Department for Work and Pensions has publicly acknowledged that current housing assessment frameworks are outdated and no longer accurately reflect the complex realities of modern retirement living arrangements across the United Kingdom today. When many existing regulations were originally established, the typical pensioner either owned a single-family home outright or rented traditional accommodation. Living arrangements were relatively straightforward, and assessments could be conducted using simple criteria that applied fairly uniformly across the entire pensioner population without significant complications. Today's retirement landscape appears dramatically different. Multi-generational living has surged as adult children struggle with housing affordability and return to live with retired parents. Pensioners increasingly downsize from larger family homes to smaller properties, often releasing substantial equity in the process. The sharing economy has led more retirees to rent spare rooms through various platforms or informal arrangements to supplement their fixed incomes. The existing DWP framework simply wasn't designed to handle this complexity effectively. From the government's perspective, this created two distinct problems. First, some pensioners genuinely needing support weren't receiving it because their circumstances couldn't be properly assessed under outdated regulations. Second, increased scrutiny revealed that some individuals may have been receiving benefits they weren't entitled to because loopholes or ambiguities in the old system weren't capturing their true financial and housing situations accurately. The December 15th changes represent the DWP's attempt to create a more sophisticated, nuanced assessment framework capable of handling modern complexity while ensuring support reaches those who genuinely need it and preventing system abuse. If you own your home, the December 15th regulations will fundamentally change how the DWP evaluates your property and its impact on benefit eligibility. The assessment will now scrutinize how your entire property is actually being used, not simply whether you live there. Spare bedrooms become a focal point of assessment. If you own a home with more bedrooms than you actively use, the DWP may question whether that represents inefficient use of housing resources and factor it into eligibility decisions. This particularly affects pensioners living alone in family homes they've occupied for decades, but no longer need all the space. Annexes, granny flats, and converted spaces receive special attention under new rules. If your property includes a separate living unit, even if currently unoccupied or used by family, the DWP will assess whether this represents additional housing value that should affect your benefit calculation. Properties used partially for business or rental purposes face enhanced scrutiny. If you rent out a room through informal arrangements or platforms, this must now be reported and will directly impact benefit calculations. For renters, whether in social or private housing, the new rules tighten scrutiny around occupancy levels and household composition. The DWP wants precise information about who lives in your property and what their relationship is to you. Adult children, grandchildren, or other relatives living with you must be properly documented. Private renters face additional complications. The DWP will examine rental agreements more carefully, looking for informal or unusual arrangements that might indicate unreported income or resources. If you're renting from a family member at below market rates, this arrangement now requires detailed documentation and explanation. This section is absolutely crucial because many pensioners don't realize how deeply intertwined housing assessments and pension credit calculations have become under the December 15th changes. Pension credit is the cornerstone benefit for many low-income pensioners, but it's far more than just direct payment. It acts as a gateway benefit that unlocks access to numerous other forms of support, including free TV licenses for over 75s, cold weather payments, help with health costs, and critically housing-related benefits like housing benefit and council tax reduction. Under the new rules, your housing situation feeds much more directly into pension credit eligibility calculations. Changes in your living arrangements, even if your actual income remains unchanged, can now trigger pension credit reassessments. The domino effect is what makes this so dangerous. A single change in your housing circumstances that seems minor or temporary can trigger a pension credit review. If that review results in reduced or stopped pension credit, you suddenly lose not just that payment, but potentially your housing benefit, council tax reduction, and other support mechanisms. Many pensioners mistakenly believe the DWP will somehow automatically know about changes in their circumstances. This assumption is dangerous. While data sharing between departments has increased, the DWP explicitly states that the responsibility for reporting changes rests with you as the claimant. Under the new rules, automated checking systems flag discrepancies much faster than before. When your reported circumstances don't match information from council tax records, utility companies, or other sources, these discrepancies are automatically identified and queued for investigation. When housing change discrepancies are discovered, several consequences follow. Your benefits will typically be suspended immediately while investigation proceeds. The DWP will calculate an overpayment covering the period from when your circumstances changed to when the discrepancy was discovered. You may face penalties or prosecution if the failure to report is deemed deliberate. Certain circumstances place you in categories that will receive enhanced DWP scrutiny. Pensioners with spare bedrooms in owned properties face increased review likelihood. Those in shared or multi-generational households are high risk because these situations involve the complex financial arrangements the new rules are designed to scrutinize. Recent movers or those who've sold property within the last year are high risk because property transactions create capital movements that might affect benefit entitlement. First and most important, conduct a comprehensive review of your current housing situation. Write down exactly who lives in your home and document all financial arrangements, including who pays rent or mortgage and who contributes to bills. Second, verify what information the DWP currently holds about your housing situation. Compare what the DWP has on record with your current actual situation. If there are any discrepancies, even minor ones, these must be corrected immediately. Third, gather supporting documentation for your housing situation. This should include proof of ownership or tenancy agreements, recent utility bills showing who lives at the address, council tax bills, and bank statements showing housing cost payments. Fourth, update the DWP about any changes that have occurred but that you haven't yet reported. This is your opportunity to self-report before the new enforcement mechanisms activate. The DWP is generally more lenient about late reporting when you self-report before they discover discrepancies. Fifth, if you're planning any housing changes, do not proceed until you've consulted with the DWP about the benefit implications. Major decisions like downsizing or having relatives move in should only be made after understanding how they'll affect your benefits under the new rules. Sixth, establish a system for ongoing compliance with reporting requirements. Set calendar reminders to review your housing situation quarterly. Create a folder for housing-related documents so you always have records available. Seventh, seek professional advice if your situation is complex. Benefits advisors, welfare rights officers, and specialist organizations provide free guidance to pensioners navigating benefit changes. We've covered crucial information today about the DWP's housing rule changes taking effect December 15, 2025, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, that's completely understandable. These changes represent a significant shift in how your living situation affects your benefits. Let me summarize the absolutely critical points. Starting December 15th, housing assessments become far more detailed, examining not just whether you own or rent, but how your property is used, who lives with you and their financial contributions, and how all of this impacts your benefit entitlement. The consequences of failing to report housing changes have become more severe, but all risks are manageable if you take proactive action before December 15th. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up to help other pensioners see this information before the deadline. Subscribe to my channel for continued updates on these rule changes and guidance the DWP releases. Hit that notification bell so you never miss crucial benefits information. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Are you in a situation that might be affected? Have you started preparing? Your questions often inspire follow-up videos that benefit the entire community. Most importantly, please share this video with other pensioners in your life. Many older people might not learn about these December 15th changes until it's too late. Sending this video to friends, family members, or neighbors who receive benefits could genuinely save them from benefit disruption and financial hardship. Thank you for watching today. These December 15th changes are happening whether we like them or not, and being prepared is the only way to ensure they don't harm you. I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue bringing you verified DWP updates that help you navigate retirement with confidence. Until then, take immediate action on the steps we've discussed, and remember that staying informed and proactive is your best defense. Take care.